Yeah. So, okay. Here's my pick. And this is what's going to annoy some people, but I've been saying this all freaking year. It's Tyrann Mathieu.
Okay, explain, please.
I mean, like, this idea that he's missing tackles left and right, I don't know where it's come from, but like, it's just not true, first of all. Tyrann Mathieu is number 3 on this team. Tyrann Mathieu, this 5'9" free safety, is number 3 on the team in total tackles with 70. He is number 2 on the team in solo tackles with 52. He has a sack. He has 2 interceptions. He has 7 passes defensed. He has not missed a game. He has played 538 coverage snaps. The next closest is 496. So he has played almost a half game full of snaps, more than the second highest coverage player. The next highest, so Paulson Adebo is number 3 at 421. So not only has he been effective, consistent, he has been there every week. He has the highest coverage grade of any defensive back on the team. Yeah, so like Cam Jordan, actually, if you look at Pro Football Focus, has the highest coverage grade. He only has like 7 coverage snaps, but he's been good when he's been in coverage. But in terms of any defensive back, Tyrann Mathieu, his coverage grade is 82.8 from Pro Football Focus, right? Let's see. Missed tackles. I'll go down the list. Number 1, Demario Davis, 15. Number 2, Alontae Taylor, 12. Number 3, Pete Werner, 10. And then a whole bunch of people with 9, and that includes Tyrann Mathieu. The others, Paulson Adebo, Caden Ellis, who hasn't even played that much, Bradley Roby, and Cam Jordan also has 9 missed tackles. So, like, this idea that he's out there whiffing on tackles left and right, fine. Like, he's missed a few tackles, but you know, if the action is getting to your free safety down the field, someone missed a tackle earlier in most cases. You know, maybe there have been some business decisions, whatever. You know, this guy has been consistent. He's been out there every week. He has 2 of your 3 interceptions on the year. And if you go back and you watch the tape from this game, he was laying the wood on people. He's made more touchdown saving tackles than probably anyone else. And you notice them because it's this little guy trying to tackle a big guy a lot of the time. And so, yeah, he is my Saints MVP. If you want to look at it as, this idea that he has not made any tackles and he hasn't done anything in coverage. You know, he's been targeted 33 times, 22 receptions. That's 66% completion percentage against, 146 yards. You know, that's one of the lower numbers on the team.
Who's your guy on offense?
No, I'm not done yet. Leave my man Tyrann alone, because not only has he been a good player, he has been a locker room leader in a season when you needed it, right? Like, it bothers me. It bothers me that everyone turned on Tyrann Mathieu so damn quickly.
I think it's because of the quality of playing the safety position has definitely dropped from the last 2 seasons.
I mean, but here's the thing. And I understand why you say that, but the average NFL fan has no idea what the safeties are doing 80% of the time because they can't see them. And there's nothing wrong with this. Most NFL fans are ball watchers because that's how you watch the game. You watch the ball. So you don't know whether the safety is playing well in coverage. You're only reacting because you saw a highlight where he missed a tackle and all of a sudden everyone's saying Tyrann Mathieu sucks and everyone's piling on him. But if you look at like everyone who's analyzing the position, he hasn't played badly. And for whatever reason, everyone just flipped a switch and turned on Tyrann Mathieu. And all he's done is go out there and play quality, consistent football. And that's what bothers me about it. And so, yeah.
It might be from the lack of big plays, too, that everyone expects.
He hasn't made a ton of big plays, but no one has, right?
No, right.
Like, if you, I mean, yeah, he has 2 interceptions. You'd hope to see more across the board. But like the defense as a whole has not been making game-changing plays. So it's like you can't hold that against Tyrann Mathieu, the one guy who's actually made interceptions. So yeah, anyway. Tyrann, if you're listening, I expect that check in the mail within the next few weeks.
Pro Bowl voters agree with you.
Yeah. Anyway, so there's my rant on Tyrann Mathieu. But yeah, like you look, it's like, oh, yeah, you have a safety who's number 2 on the team in tackles, right? And solo tackles. And he's the guy you're complaining about? Like, I mean, a guy who just hasn't been – I don't even know if he's been on an injury report.
I can't think of any time, honestly.
He's just been consistent, and he's out there playing hard. He's doing all sorts of shit. He's moving around all the time. He's playing in the slot. He's playing, playing deep. He's playing strong.
So you think he comes back next season?
Oh yeah. He's under contract. Of course he does. Well, again, it's like the only reason you might think, well, he might not come back next season is this idea that he's had a bad year, and he hasn't. I mean, look at okay. One more thing on Tyrann before we move on.
Yeah, I think he could possibly retire after this year.
Well, sure, retiring is one thing. I mean, he is getting up there in age, right? So yeah, maybe he could retire, but it's not going to be a question of whether the Saints want him back. And here's another thing. Okay, so and I know like people can look at the Pro Football Focus grades and say, yeah, whatever. But like at the end of the day, you're just looking at a baseline, right? Like these are the same metrics they're looking at every year. Coverage grade. His highest coverage grade was 2015 with the Arizona Cardinals early in his career. Obviously, I'm not going to question whether he was better back in 2015. Of course he was. 7 years later, this is his second highest coverage grade of his career this season at 82.8, according to Pro Football Focus, who has all these grades, right? His lowest was 2016 for Arizona. His second lowest was 2020 with Kansas City, right? Okay, so look at tackling. His highest, this is one of his worst tackling seasons, which fine. If you're asking your 5'9" safety to go make open field tackles all the time, you're going to have a hard time. But from an overall defensive grade, this is his third highest grade in his career from Pro Football Focus this season. So I don't know. If you think that Tyrann Mathieu is playing badly, it's because you had unrealistic expectations for what Tyrann Mathieu can do on defense. Because, to me, you're seeing a very consistent version of Tyrann from what you saw throughout his career. And I think a big part of the issue is people remember LSU Tyrann and this like all-world playmaker. And, he's just not that. But he is still a very good NFL safety. Is he Marcus Williams? No. But yeah, that's it. That's all.
See, I just think this could be his last hurrah, honestly. I think
it's possible.
I'm not going to say he's been god-awful, but to me, it just hasn't been good.
He's 30 years old. And I would say he does kind of look tired a little bit.
I was going to say there's more instances I feel like he could have made a play than did, honestly, kind of thing.
Okay.
I know, right.
I can't dispute that because they don't know what it's very vague. But all right, let's move on. Okay, let's do this quickly.